the LDS Church was established in Spain in 1968, I want to say. And the Madrid mission was the first mission created in Spain in 1970. And the church there was virtually unknown, save a few American military people who had been stationed there, and they had kind of American branches back in the 50s and 60s. But to native Spaniards, there wasn't a whole lot of information. So the church started by just missionaries starting from zero, just street contacting. And the members who joined back in the early 70s, I think they were definitely prepared, because I heard lots of stories of pretty amazing spiritual experiences they had. And to this day, they're some of the strongest members in Spain, and their children and grandchildren are second and third generation. But in Spain, you'll find a lot of converts because the church is only 45 years old there. The temple in Spain was dedicated in 1999, and that helped a lot with just the kind of the publicity of the church. And it's interesting. The temple is in a part of the town where the rest of it is just red brick buildings, and then there's this amazingly white, huge structure in the middle of it all with Angel Moroni on the top. So it creates a lot of interest for the church, and it's pretty well known outside of Madrid too. People are, they say, "Oh, the Mormon Temple, I've heard of that." And the church is growing in Spain. I think the influx of immigrants from Latin America, South and Central America in the early 2000s helped a lot, because lots of them were already members when they came. And also, lots of the baptisms in the Madrid mission are immigrants, and they help with the growth of the wards and missionary work. And when their family comes or their friends come, to work in Spain, they tell them about the gospel, and we got a lot of references that way from family members. Mormons represent 1% of Spanish population. They're about 40,000 members in all, maybe 45,000, and then 46 million Spaniards. So it's relatively well known, but also at the same time, there are a lot of people who think they know what Mormons are. There are a lot of misconceptions about the church. So a lot of our missionary work was just clearing up, like, no, we don't do this, we don't believe that. And then people were more open, like, oh, then we're pretty similar. And that was a good starting point for us. Lots of the challenges that members face there just include, I would say, staying strong and standing firm, or standing up for what they believe in an increasingly kind of agnostic and atheist society. So 70% of Spaniards, they're self-proclaimed Roman Catholics, but only 14 or 15% of Spanish population actually attend church services on Sunday. So many religious people, Spaniards, aren't very practicing. And then about 25% of Spain is agnostic or atheist, or just claim no religion at all. So it's definitely a challenge to stay strong, and I guess kind of defend. The members have to defend their beliefs to their family and friends, and just people in the community who think that it's kind of old-fashioned or not really the thing to do anymore to believe. But I think definitely the economic crisis that Spain went through, I was there in kind of the thick of it in 2010 and 2011, and they're doing better, but kind of in the few years after I left and the couple of years before, Spain got hit really hard by the burst in the housing, real estate, the housing market, and it was really hard for lots of people there. And I think that the church provided a kind of a safe space to have peace and have hope for the future, and it kind of gave a lot of people a reason to want to believe in a God who loved them and would bless them, and they wanted to have hope and faith for the future. So we kind of took that point a lot when we shared the gospel. Like, no, God hasn't forgotten you. He does love you and care about you, and He's aware of your situation, and things will get better. So it's an interesting cultural climate there in recent years. If I went back, I would do a lot of things the same, but I would also make more of an effort to get to know the Spaniards, the Spanish history, and kind of why people act the way they do there, and why they say the things they do, and kind of the reasoning behind their beliefs, like their cultural beliefs. And yeah, I think it's really important to have empathy and try to, well, if not empathy, if you haven't experienced yourself, at least sympathy for the issues and challenges that people face in Spain, especially because they were under a dictator, Francisco Franco, for almost 40 years, from the end of like 1939 to 1936 to 1975. And during that time, many Spaniards felt oppressed and kind of controlled and limited in what they could say and do. So now, since then, many Spaniards, I think, feel more open, and they want to explore different ways of thinking and ways of believing. So I think it's important that missionaries in the Madrid mission kind of take advantage of that and help people realize how multifaceted the gospel is, and how it can help them in individual ways, and how the gospel of Jesus Christ, it kind of has elements of truth from different religions and combines them into one great whole, and how that's one of the most amazing things about it, and how it can help them in their search for truth. Because Spaniards, many of them are seeking, and they want to be happy, and they want to find fulfillment. And I think just helping them to understand how the gospel can assist them in that quest for happiness.